Well, California leaders say that there's been a significant decline of fraud and theft involving food and cash benefits in the state. KCRA3 Investigates has been reporting on this issue for years now, and criminals targeting EBT cards, draining the money, and then leaving Californians without the benefits that they depend on. Political Director Ashley Zavala spoke with the person leading the new state agency that's helping and explains in this update.
Governor Gavin Newsom's office shared this data with us exclusively, showing an 83% drop in fraud and theft of the state's food and cash benefits over the last year. They say that's thanks to new technology the state is using. Newsom's office said this all happened with the help of California's Office of Data and Innovation. It's a small team with about 67 employees. They're tasked with helping state departments across California innovate while trying to tackle waste and fraud issues. One of their more recent projects, helping the Department of Social Services upgrade their systems to limit the amount of electronic benefits transfer, also known as EBT fraud, happening every month. ODI's director, Jeffrey Marino, says the Social Services Department over the years has been losing tens of millions of dollars to EBT fraud every month. Specifically, in January of last year, the figure was at $20.9 million. Newsom's administration says that number has plunged to $3.6 million, and they expect it to continue to improve. Marino credits the drop in fraud losses to upgrades his team helped develop. For instance, they created a predictive data model to identify suspicious transactions and predict users who have been compromised or will likely be compromised. So instead of reacting, the Department of Social Services can be proactive and reset the PIN for users who are at risk of fraud.
When we're talking about EBT, we're not talking about operating within the modern banking system, right? This is a legacy government system that we're dealing with. So everything that you and I think of as standard or table stakes in, I go to a point of sale and I get a text that says, hey, is this really you? That's all facilitated through years of innovation in the private sector in banking. And it's really a government system that in the late 90s, early 2000s was modernized to start using actual card technology rather than pen and paper, which is where it started. But it has not benefited from those years of innovation from the private sector. And so that's really some of the constraints that we've been working within in order to implement this new advanced analytics, chip and tap technology.
Like Director Marino mentioned, advancements like chip and tap technology have also reduced the amount of fraud surrounding EBT cards. He says California is the first state in the nation to launch this.
When it comes to the story of EBT theft, you can talk about the numbers, the dollars and cents that are lost, but when you think about it from a Californian's perspective, it's really improving the service delivery that they're receiving, because rather than going to a point of sale and finding out there's no money on my card, I thought there was, and then having to go through a bureaucratic process of filing a complaint, going through an investigation, waiting to be reimbursed, we're able to proactively notify that person, you're at risk, we've changed your PIN, they can change their PIN quickly and move on with their lives. And so it certainly has the benefit of saving millions and millions of dollars, but it's done through improving the way that we deliver services.
Okay, so you may be asking, well, how much is this new state agency costing taxpayers? Records show that over the last few years, ODI has been working with a budget of about $27 to $28 million, which is a very small fraction of the state's overall spending plan. Reporting at the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, KCRA3 News.
Governor Newsom's office says that since 2019, ODI has helped modernize the DMV, streamline state hiring, and enhance the state's use of modeling and new tech to track and fight wildfires.